Towerhouse Creative released a new tool that we can use for our gaming called the Bode. This is a simple D4 dice which is designed beautifully and can be used for your dungeon crawling adventures. Elton also updated the Null dice and made some changes to the Daidc D20. We're going to talk about that in the video, so let's get started. Welcome to Solitary RPG. Before we get into talking about all the dice from Towerhouse Creative, I want to do a small channel update. The month of May is my birthday month, and I turned 55, and I received an amazing gift from the community. The channel has reached 3,000 subscribers. It's a big milestone for the channel, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Super thankful for everyone that follows the channel, leaves comments, clicks the like button, all that YouTube stuff. It means a lot. I enjoy seeing the channel slowly and steadily growing over time. To celebrate this milestone, I am going to give away a Fate Meal dice from Towerhouse Creative. This is an extra one I had when I bought a bundle package from Towerhouse Creative, and I haven't done anything with it. And I figured this was the perfect time to give away a little celebratory gift to a lucky viewer and subscriber of the channel. I'm going to keep the rules simple for this. You will have to live within the continental United States. Send me an email. The email for Solitaire RPG will be in the description. And it's relatively simple, solitaireRPG@gmail.com. I'll even flash it on the screen for you. Send me an email, be a subscriber. I'll put everyone's name in a hat, and I'll draw a name out randomly, and whoever's name I draw will win the Fate Meal D20. This is an amazing oracle. It's a big D20. Feels great to roll it because it's so massive, and you get some awesome results. This is a oracle that I like to use on a regular basis because it has better results than like a D6 oracle or some of the other oracles, and it's just great. I'll just recap the rules real quick. You just need to live within the continental United States. Send me an email at solitaireRPG@gmail.com. I'll put that also in the description, and I'll send it out in the mail as soon as I draw that name. I will draw the name at the beginning of next month so people have time to watch the videos. So come June 1st, I'll draw the name and take it from there. So that out of the way, again, thank you everybody for the support and helping me with the channel, especially the small independent publishers like Jay over at Shield Dice Studios and Martin over at Head Cheese Productions, Elton over at Towerhouse Creative. They believe enough in the work that I'm doing that they send me product so that I can review it, give feedback, give suggestions, and develop relationships with them. Just talking about life in general. Elton is an amazing person. Anytime he sends me any product, he sends me a nice thank you letter. And in his thank you letter, he even mentioned that the channel is about to reach the 3,000 mark. So he noticed that the channel is slowly growing. It's just great to be part of a strong, healthy, and positive community. So let's get into the dice themselves. We're going to save the Bode dice for last because this is the newest product. But I want to talk about some of the changes that were made to some of the other successful products that Elton has put out, like the Daidc D20 and the Null dice. It's made some slight changes just to make them either more thematic or more user-friendly. So for the Daidc D20, you're going to notice a color change. The original dice were black and red, and they were very striking on the table. And when I received these, I understood why there was a change made to the Null dice, but I wasn't quite sure why the Daidc D20s were changed. And what I had to do was send Elton an email just asking for some clarification on that because I wanted to make sure I represented the product properly on the channel. There has been no mechanical change to the Daidc D20. The information on the back is still the same, except for the font's a little bit different, and the dice color have changed. And the reason Elton made this change is these are throwback dice. These are how D20s used to be made. They were just numbered 0 through 9. One set of the numbers was outlined, like you can see here, and the other is solid. The technology back in the day was not nearly as advanced as it is today, and making custom dice was not possible. And they had to use a lot of dice that were readily available. The D20s were just a little bit different back then, and that is why Elton made these to start with. And he just wanted to kind of do a little bit of a throwback in the coloring and the design of the card. If you look at the card, you see the old blue and kind of light blue dungeon map. For those of us that play Dungeons and Dragons back in the day, that's a very familiar look. And that is part of the reason why the color of the dice have changed. Mechanically, they're still the same. You can just roll these as a regular D20. The little card gives you the instructions on how to use it. If it's an outlined number, it's 1 through 10, the 0 representing the 10. If it's a solid number, it's 11 through 20 with the 0 representing 20. So if I roll this blue dice, I rolled a solid 9, which would be a good solid 19. So there you go. That's how it's used as a D20. Can also be used as a D2. Roll either one of the dice, and the outlying numbers would be 1, and the solid numbers would be 2. I just got a 2. You can also use it as a D10. Roll either one of the dice. Note that the zeros are 10s, so it doesn't matter if it's a solid or outlined number, and you can just roll it. I rolled an 8. That's how you use it as a D10. You can also use it as a D100 or percentile dice. The blue dice is the 10, the cream dice is the 1. And when you're using as a D100, these zeros are not 10s, they're zeros. So if we roll this, I just got a 2 and a 2, so I rolled 22 or 22%. That's how that would work. So it's just a great throwback to a different time in gaming. And for some of us, it's more nostalgic than anything. But they're also just cool to have because they take the place of some of the other dice in your collection. And let's face it, we like rolling D20s. They feel good in the hands because they're more rounded. And we just like rolling them. And I just rolled a 23 if I was doing that. A 2 if it's a 10 or a 3. It's just offers more options to you at your table. And it's just really cool. So yeah, a little throwback. And he even updated the sticker, which check this out. One of the cool things that Elton does when you buy products from him is you get the dice. He'll also throw in these really cool like chrome stickers that I love stickers. Slap these on anything you want, computers, those thermal mugs or cups, the Stanley cups or whatever people like to carry, or hydro flasks. Slap it on that, slap it on your work locker, make people be wary of, oh, shoot, don't go in Mike's locker. So yeah, it's just really cool. You'll get whatever instructions are for the dice, and then he types up these really cool stories about the dice, and you could actually use these as an adventure seed or something like that, or just read it as a really cool story for inspiration behind the dice. Make it more than just dice. Yes, I understand that dice are just random rocks that we use on our table for our games, and we enjoy them, but having a little story behind the dice, just makes it that much cooler in life. So that's the Daidc D20. The next thing we're going to talk about are the Null dice. This is a NPC response system. Originally, both the dice were the same color. Elton updated them to include 2 different colors, and this is a big improvement. Elton is more than willing to listen to feedback from the community about the products that he produces. One of the criticisms of the original Fate Mill dice is it was a regular D20 size and it was really hard to read easily when rolling it on the table. That's why he upsized it. The Null dice, because you will sometimes roll both of these dice together to get your result. He changed the color just to make it easier, kind of like the Daidc D20 and other systems that we use in our gaming where we roll a couple dice. You just assign one value to one, another value to the other, roll them together, and you automatically know what's going on. When Elton released the Null dice, he started creating this new way of using the instructions, and it's this long sheet of paper, double-sided, and it's just really nice because it's small, it's compact, and it just makes it a little bit quicker to grab, and it's not another book laying out. And when I was reviewing this, I also showed how easily you can use this and just flip through it like a book, just a different kind of book, and you don't have to spread it all the way out. It's nice and simple. The instructions for the Null dice have not changed. Everything is right here. I will put a link to my video where I discussed the Null dice, and you can go check it out. But the big change to this was just shifting the color of one of the D6 dice to a different shade, so that way when you roll them together, boom, you've got your results. Then you can just refer to your instructions. I got a heart and a bag. Flip through, look for the heart in the bag, and here you got your result. Might suggest a donation for a cause, or their friendship is for sale. So it just gives you your result based on how the NPC is going to respond or provide information so that you can better run your NPCs and you're not always trying to come up with ideas. It's an idea generator and it's really cool. And just like the other dice, you'll get a little story about the Null dice and another cool sticker. This one is thematic because it's a brain and it's thinking, and that's kind of what this is all about, is how are they going to respond. So it's very thematic with the Null dice. But we're here to hear about the new one, which is the Bode dice. Now this is a D4, and this is a proper D4. Notice the round edges so that it can't land like that. It rolls over. I thought it wasn't going to fall at that for a second. This is the kind of D4 that I actually like rolling. I have a few of these in my collection of dice. Wish more companies would produce these in those sets of dice that we get, and get away from those pyramid looking D4s. I don't like rolling those. I've gone out and bought other types of D4s. These are also really cool. They're just square and they're small. They're just a little bit bigger than the Bode dice, and it's just awesome. I love these. So what this is, I'm going to say it's a dungeon room generation dice. So if you're doing a dungeon crawl, you could use it in wilderness and other places, but I'm going to focus on dungeon crawling. You roll it for what kind of an obstacle is going to be in the way. So if you roll a 1, you got a trap. If you roll a 2, you get a trick. If you roll a 3, you get a tail. And if you roll a 4, you get a treasure. And that's pretty straightforward. So I enter a room. What is my obstacle, or what is the challenge? I got a tail. We go to this instruction sheet right here. Starts with a story behind the dice and giving you some information. And then it gives you the meaning of the faces. So a trap, a 1, is a hidden physical or magical hazard with potential negative consequences. It's a trap. It's a trap. 2 is a trick, an overt challenge, puzzle, mechanism, or situation requiring players' ingenuity or specific character interaction skill check. So we have a standard trick or puzzle. 3, a tale, an element of narrative significance, a clue, story hook, NPC, or monster. sign or encounter or environmental story detail. The 3 represents quite a bit in your game, but it gives you options to think about. Not every room needs to be an encounter, not every room needs to be repeated. And one of the challenges when you're playing solo is your mind kind of fixates or gets stuck, and you get in this loop of kind of always doing the same thing. That's why tools like this are so important in solo gaming, because they push you to think differently and to come up with things more creatively. 4 is a treasure, something of tangible value or utility to the players, from mundane supplies or magical artifacts. Pretty straightforward. And then once you do that, you flip over and you have the instructions on how to use it. You roll your D4, you come up with your result. I rolled a 3 and a tail, and then you'll just flip through your little booklet here and find tail. And then you'll roll another D4. I got another 3, and I got the result of an item, narrative, a non-treasure item with story significance, quest item, key, ritual component, unique belonging, map, fragment. And then you just move forward with your story. So you can just roll 2d4s, two twos, and you can then just go immediately to your chart, get your result, and move forward. And that's basically how it works. And I really like it. It's simple information to help you with your gaming. Elton also always takes things to the next level. We have a bonus table for the door state. Instead of us rolling with the fate mill dice to get the answer to a door being locked, because door being locked or not should be pretty straightforward and simple. You got a D4. I rolled a 3, stuck, barred. The door is jammed or barred from the other side, requiring significant force, likely creating noise. So it just gives you a quick, simple door result so that you can just decide how you're going to get through the door. And then at the very end, Elton provides some GM advice. This is just good, simple advice to help with your gaming, and it's just a good reminder when you're playing, and it helps finish out what an amazing tool that we have at our disposal for gaming. But yeah, just some simple GM advice, and I just enjoy reading it. And it's great to have it at your fingertips, just so that maybe during some quick downtime, someone has to go up and use the restroom, as a GM or just as a solo player, if you just have a little bit of downtime or you're struggling with something, you can just go ahead and read through this real fast, and you got some great tips. And the Bode dice also comes with the story. I'm not going to read it to you. These stories are cool. They're adventure seeds that you can use, and in order for you to experience them, you'll have to go out and pick this up for yourself. And it comes with this amazing sticker. This is just an awesome sticker with the hand coming out of the fire holding one of our random rocks that we like to use for gaming. Nice stuff. Elton just continues to put out some amazing products to just make our games simpler, and these fit with the way I am adjusting my game style, where I'm trying not to have too many books and other charts to refer to. This keeps me immersed in my game because they're not giving me specific hard information. They're giving me that very broad information that just to spark my imagination, so that whatever my result is, I can just interpret that and bring it into my adventure and just have a great time gaming. So you will be seeing this Bode dice on my table. I just like it. It's just so simple and easy. I know exactly what a trap is, and I can just narratively bring that to mind. And I can also refer to the table for the traps, roll again, and get kind of the degree of the trap. Is it a deadly trap, a serious trap, a moderate trap, or a minor trap? And just gives me more tools and information to use in my games. So great stuff. Elton, thank you so much for thinking about me, with allowing me the opportunity to talk about your new product. I will continue to do everything I can to help support these smaller, independent product creators or content creators like Jay and Martin and Elton. I think they all do fabulous work and just make our gaming sessions just that much more enjoyable. I will also have the information about the giveaway in the video description. So if you're interested, check it out and enter your name and we'll take it from there. Thank you for watching. I have a lot of stuff planned for this weekend to celebrate my birthday. So I will be back next week with a new video.